Elevators are one of the most popular modes of transport in use today. Think about it, if it wasn't for elevators, skyscrapers could not work and transporting goods around buildings would be much more tricky. But for something which we all use so commonly, there is a lot of confusion around elevators, as films ranging from horror to sci-fi frequently show elevator cars plunging to the ground, creating a fear in the mind of viewers. But why is this nightmare so commonly shown in films, especially when the likelihood is very, very rare? Well, let's find out. In this video, we are looking at why the movies are wrong about elevator crashes. Let's start off by clearing one thing up. Elevator accidents are very rare. Millions of trips are taken across the country each and every month in elevators, and it's very rare that we actually hear about anything going significantly wrong, resulting in a major disaster. Sure, the doors do get trapped from time to time, but this is not exactly a dystopian fear. The nightmare really revolves around the idea of lifts free falling to the ground. But why is this such a common nightmare? Well, you could argue it goes back to the very nature of humans, as when we think about it, this is arguably where the fear comes from. The thing is, elevators go against our very nature. They are small, tightly packed boxes with people who have no control over their motion. It's actually quite scary to think about, and creates a perfect environment for our minds to think the absolute worst. After all, fear of the unknown is in our very human nature. But in reality, there is no real reason to be worried, as the likelihood of a free-falling elevator is almost impossible. First of all, an elevator with a single person in would not free fall downwards, it's more likely to move upwards due to the counterweight in the lift shaft, which would of course keep things balanced. The weight of the cargo, i.e. the humans, would need to be greater than the weight of the counterweight to give it any chance to free fall down in the first place. The likelihood of either of these scenarios happening is almost impossible, due to one reason: safety equipment. You see, free falling is something which is a very obvious fear, and something which therefore is worked on heavily. For this reason, modern elevators have a number of safety features which make it near impossible to free fall to the ground. Modern lifts are extremely high tech, including multiple types of brakes which would engage in a free fall and other types of gear which help to keep the elevator stable. More importantly, the events leading up to a free fall would be unlikely to happen in the first place, as things like ropes are made from high quality metals, which mean that they are very, very unlikely to snap in the first place, although if they did, the other safety features found in modern elevators would stop anything significant from happening. In addition to this, many elevators have springs or pistons at the end of the shaft. This means that if all of the safety features were to actually fail, there would be a significantly reduced blow due to the cushioning of the springs. But because a free fall is such an obvious fear to begin with, there is a lot of work and over-engineering which goes into a lift, meaning it is almost impossible to occur. But I know what you guys are thinking at this point. There's that one video on the internet where one elevator started to freefall. And yes, these events do happen, but mainly in countries where safety standards are nowhere up to where they should be, and absolutely not on par with many developed nations. This means that the likelihood of you being in an accident like this is extremely low, as most countries around the world have sufficient safety standards in the first place. So, there you have it. Hopefully this cleared up some of the misconceptions regarding elevators and the dystopian fear of them free falling. I know this video is quite short and also quite dissimilar to our last one, but now and again I do like to change the topic up and look at something very unique. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you did enjoy, don't forget to of course like and subscribe, and I'll be back next week with another video, so make sure you watch out for that one.